The battle for the mountain has begun. Hey, how's it going? My name is jackiefishhh and welcome back to another custom map Rise of Mordor battle as we take another look at the mysterious mountain map, which goes ahead and adds in some pretty goddamn crazy battle positions which we will hopefully be exploring in this 2 vs 2. We had a ton of soldiers. Yeah, as you can see, we have an absolute crazy ton of soldiers, close to 18,000 ready to fight and die for your entertainment. So hopefully it'll be just a very exciting battle and not too much lag. So over on this side we have the forces of Isengard teaming up with the men of Dol Amroth, an unlikely alliance but an alliance nonetheless, and we'll take a look at their units when we start the battle and everyone starts to move a little bit closer. Then on the other side we have the forces of Vinland. I can't remember, no, it's like Drom something. Basically it's one of like the Northern Dale-esque provinces where the Vineland troops are from. So you have stuff like gardeners and, you know, lumberjacks and just other units like that, and they kind of have a lot of this heavy like elven-esque cavalry to go alongside it. So we'll again look at them in more detail when the battle starts, and they're going to be teaming up with the forces of Dale. So again, Dale are going to be having a bunch of these Dalian swordsmen, bardings, and a whole range of other heavy infantry. We are also using the submod as well, so we have stuff like this, the barding swordmasters with their bows and these huge falcon swords ready to get into battle. So we are playing this battle live, which should be very exciting, so I can tell my Discord if I see stuff which doesn't quite go the way I want it to. At least like if I want action to happen, I'll say tell them just to attack and they will. So if you want to be a part of these battles in the future, be sure to join my Discord. The link will be down below in the description. The map itself is really awesome. We have kind of several positions. We have, I'll tell them to go just so, because it'll take them a little while to get a little bit closer to one another. So whilst we look at the map and stuff, we can then let them get closer. So this left hand side has a huge kind of capture point for people to fight over, and it's kind of like a camp on both sides where, you know, each side has very little defense and stuff, so it'll be a nice back and forth right there. Then in the center of the city, both sides have a huge kind of hill to march up, so by the time they get up here their units are going to be exhausted, but if they can take the central plaza and kind of push the enemy away from one another, then they'll be in a really good situation. Even if they can kind of push forward to like here and keep these towers to their own, because there are towers on either side, that would be really useful. Also look at this row of stakes. I don't think anyone's climbing up this anytime soon. And then on the far left hand side of the map we do just have this huge like open field, which will really help out in the like cavalry battles and stuff. So this should just be a really fun and exciting battle. I love the scale of the map. It hopefully will make, you know, 18,000 soldiers fighting, which is what we have, or almost have. I think we're like a couple hundred short. It'll make this feel like the entire battlefield is being used without units being really clumped up on one another. So we're going to actually have like probably like three normal sized battles in each of these positions. You know, this versus that could easily be one battle. So again, whilst the armies are marching, let's take a look at what people are bringing. So Dale have a ton of these Dalian swords on their front line. It's going to kind of make up their full battle line on this left hand side. They're going to be supported by some Dalian archers. Again, then they have the spearmen in reserve, along with this really elite Dale cavalry. And then finally these guys as well, the barding swordmasters, a pretty deadly unit. And again, they do have some of this Dale cavalry on the left hand side, supported by the more heavier Regent cavalry. Then if we take a look in the center, which is kind of a mix of Dalian and the Vineland troops, we have some of the Gardener units. I assume they're a bit better than their name suggests they are. Then as we continue to go down, we have more infantry being sent up, some rangers from Dale, got some skirmish infantry, a catapult, and then some pikemen as well as the Vineland watchmen as well, which look pretty cool. More infantry though all being pushed up. We have some more of these spearmen, we have the foresters with their huge great axes. These bad boys will definitely dig into the enemy position. Some Vineland patrollers. And then finally, more of the Vineland Guard. Such an elite unit. I mean, just look at that. It's so epic. And again, this is just like one part of the battlefield. I love it. I love how the scale of this battle is absolutely crazy. Over on the other side, we do have some more heavy infantry. We have some of the guildsmen, some more archers. I imagine their cavalry's probably going to be pretty decent then if they have a large portion of kind of like medium tier infantry and archers. Yeah, it's going to be these guys right here, the paladins. Oh, these guys look sick. I really love the overcoat as well. Very, very cool. And then finally, we do have some of these wine keepers as well. Not really soldiers, but holy crap, look at this. This army has rushed up by the forces of Dol Amroth. I mean, Dol Amroth have a very, very fast cavalry force. They have a lot of these heavier knight units, the squires, and obviously the more like knightly infantry. And I imagine they've rushed up as well. You can see some of Dol Amroth's infantry right here. Some spearmen. They've got a mix of infantry and then obviously archers behind. And they've definitely just used their speed to take this position as quickly as they can. Then for Isengard, you guys already know Isengard's forces, you know, pikemen, crossbowmen, and then we also have some sword and shield dudes as well, as long with these half-orc axes, which are a great unit, but definitely vulnerable to missile fire, so they're going to be have to be a bit careful. White-hand guardians really good, and then finally the Urukai infantry. But anyway, let's go ahead and get ready to start this battle. It does look like Isengard and Dol Amroth have just simply charged their forces forward. Especially their lighter units as well, just to try their best to take ahead as much of this land as possible. I mean, I say some of the lighter units, but these guys, I mean, I guess they are quite light units. They're trained infantry, but they're not like as plated up as, say, the Isengard forces are. And they're not looking to push any further. They just want to get up here and rest, which is not a bad idea. Again, because a lot of the forces from Vineland, you know, are very tired right now. So it wouldn't be a bad idea for them just to, you know, get their archer. Oh, that's exactly what they're doing. They're getting their archers out into position, and they're going to start volleying over the hill and into the smoke. There you go. The first couple of volleys are all now going off. And they're going to be raining down on these positions. I think these guys have formed shield walls, so they're going to, you know, redact quite a few of these archer shots, but they're going to take casualties slowly but surely. On the other side as well, do we have any infantry being brought up? The main force of Dol Amroth are burning the towers on the other side, which is a really, really smart move here to burn these towers so that the other forces can't use them. And has Isengard. Isengard are holding off pretty defensively right now. They're not looking to push, which is not a bad idea. If they can hold this camp yard right here, that can definitely help them out in a very good way. They're kind of going aggressive on the left flank and kind of going very defensive on the right. Because this map is so big, you know, this force over here is going to take a while to make their way all the way around. So I think we're going to be getting the main engagements over on this left-hand side as the cavalry continue to cause a ruckus back here. Again, I think they're looking to burn these towers down. They've already taken down 2, which is going to be pretty useful. That's not a bad move right there by the forces of Dol Amroth. I'm surprised though that these guys aren't looking to push over the archer fire. This is going to be pretty deadly if they stick around, because the archer fire is going to be relentless. Yeah, that's going to force Dol Amroth to get out of here. They're really clumped up and they're going to take some HP damage, if not more casualties from the archer fire. So getting these guys the hell out of here is a smart decision. As the archers continue to push on. And I imagine the Vineland archers aren't too bad either. They can definitely inflict quite a few casualties on the enemy positions. And the infantry are now making their way up. So this is what I was saying, a really good move here to use that fast moving cavalry to burn down at least 2 of the towers. Not a bad move whatsoever. I'm surprised though Dol Amroth aren't just really taking the enemy position. I mean, look at that as well. Dol Amroth just look like such a clean faction. Love their units right now.
Swords drawn and make ready.
Make ready, boys, for battle, for war, for Wrath, for Ruin, and the World's End. Very, very cool. Any engagements in the city? No, just a heavy missile fight? Or, no, Dol Amroth are going aggressive in the city. They're looking to get their hands bloodied and try and take this advantage as the infantry now decide to start clashing in. Who's tied? Oh, we have another charge here as well. They try and throw off their javelins, but do get stuck in. Is this a skirmisher unit? Oh, no, this is infantry. They just have a lot. But more reinforcements are turning up, and this could be pretty scary for the forces of Dale, because if they don't get their men over here quickly enough, like, this infantry is going to come around the side and just absolutely slaughter them to no end. So they really have to be very careful. Also, look at this standoff over here on the right-hand side. Neither side is looking to push up. More infantry being thrown into the battle in the city. as both sides look to get their hands bloody. But so many archers just all set up. I think a large portion of this battle is going to be deployed by the archers, and where sides do go ahead and send them into battle. Because it does look like Doamroth have a fewer set of archers over on this left-hand side, but have more in the city, which is obviously giving them a nice advantage. The Doamroth infantry has now decided to clash into battle against the guardsmen, or the guildsmen even, of Vineland. Again, I know they're not called Vineland, but I'm just going to call them that, just because it's easier. I know it begins with a D, but I just can't remember. The archer fire. Going to be claiming quite a few casualties. Luckily, they do have a nice sword and shield, though, as the fight continues on. And if you guys are enjoying this Rise of Mordor content and this battle itself, because I think this is going to be one hell of a battle, then be sure to drop a like and a comment down below. I'd really, really appreciate that. Isengard are now seizing the opportunity to push forward. I think this is a good idea because they want to try and, keep this enemy from doing anything, over the top, from retreating and supporting the forces elsewhere. As it's looking pretty good for Doamroth in the city. More infantry being sent up. The pikemen actually being able to take these guys out. There's a lot of archer fire now coming in. And obviously pikemen don't have a shield to protect themselves against missiles. We do have more infantry though being brought in. And these guys are obviously going to come up and help out. As more and more shots do come flying off. These guys are going to be charging in though. And if I can get a charge off from the archers, that's going to be really, really good to kill this unit early on. Because I think each side was permitted 8 archers out of their 40, and that's really nice as well to engage with these archers, stop them from really fighting, and I think whatever side really wins can then move their entire army around and just support elsewhere. We've got some pikemen coming, or some halberd infantry coming in from Doamroth looking to support the soldiers at Vineland. Vineland infantry seems to be struggling a little bit. I mean, these guildsmen do much, much better than the Gardener infantry. But it's looking like a pretty brutal fight going from end to end right now. Spearman v Spearman. And if one of these positions can open up for either side and they can funnel their cavalry through, the archers are going to be used like working double time. And really all it takes is one side to break, and I think this is the side Doamroth are looking to break right with their halberds, with their infantry. But they're having a hard time. These guildmasters are holding their own and proving why they're being paid, especially with the support of the archer fire as well. That was a pretty crazy missile volley coming in there. I'm sure we'll see another one any second now come in. And each volley just kills a couple infantrymen. And that definitely adds up. I mean, that killed a few more than just a couple. Does look like Doamroth are going to be focusing down the enemy missiles, trying to reduce that threat, which definitely is not a bad idea. But I just think they need to try and maybe push forward with their infantry and try and seize that over. We're going to get some infantry being brought back, and I imagine sent around the flank. Yeah, if I was Doamroth right now, I would send all this cavalry. Oh, they can't because of the red line. I thought there was a bit more space. I thought it went up to here. I would maybe just try and force my way through here, because if you can get your cavalry into this back line, it is over for Vineland. You kill their archers ASAP. It does also look like a large portion of the Dale forces are holding back on the hill, not wanting to commit their entire force, whereas Doamroth and Isengard have. They've got their crossbows up now as well, which are going to be great armor-piercing infantry. Yeah, so a lot of dudes here, all fighting in this epic arena. It's not a bad map whatsoever. I literally love it. It's so cool. Have the other side engaged yet? So Dale are looking to push off through the fog, and they're getting their archers in range of Isengard. And you can see the volleys coming in now, taking out quite a few of these shielded infantry. But these guys are pushed up here for a reason. I imagine they're going to form defensive testudo to try and reduce the amount of missile fire coming in. We've obviously got their own crossbows as well back here. So they've kind of, or actually these are the scout archers, so Dale should eat these guys alive, honestly. But as you can see, kind of they've gone a lot weaker on this right-hand side. Whereas they're trying to keep the centre and the left-hand side for Isengard and Doamroth a bit more heavily stacked so they can win them. But I think we're going to see Isengard here losing to Dale. I think their infantry are just going to be very, very deadly, and it's going to be more than enough to overwhelm the position. But I mean, only time will tell. We will see whether or not Isengard can overwhelm the forces and hold their line, or if Dale will just be too much. They're even throwing in their half-orc axes. I think these archers, though, will just slaughter these guys. But there's a lot of really elite infantry ready to be sent up and helped out, and obviously these archers are also still volleying, so it'll be interesting to see who wins this. How are we doing in the overall battle map? So it does look like, you know, this engagement's only just started. In the center, we have the forces of Dol Amroth and Isengard probably being the winners, at least at this engagement for now. There are more javelins being brought up to help out, but I think overall we're going to see Isengard probably, you know, winning the day here. Taking a look at the balance of power, both sides are still really, really even. I don't think either side has really jumped ahead too much. Yeah, no, the difference between men is completely the same, or troops I should say, is very, very similar. And the javelins are going to be coming in here, doing a lot of work. We even have some elite Vineland Wardens here set up. Nice little move here by Hobbit. And if he can take care of all of the Uruk-hai pikemen, that's going to give them a better advantage. Over on the other side, though, the pikemen for Dol Amroth and Isengard are just doing a lot of damage. They're going to be able to kill these guys fairly nicely. Over down on this engagement, Dol Amroth have now won the day, and they're going to send all of their cavalry through, I would imagine. Yeah, the cavalry's coming up, and they're just completely broken the forces of Vineland over here. So this cavalry can catch all of these archers. That's going to be huge. The infantry of Dol Amroth is proving too much in this position. I mean, over on this side, the spearmen are doing fairly good. They're holding their own, but I mean, I guess that's what spearmen are all about. As the cavalry poured its way forward, oh, here we go. The cavalry is going in and it's looking just to slaughter these archers, bring them down. There's so many horses that they can split their whole cavalry up. We are going to be seeing more cavalry coming in. Oh my god, this horse is so fast! My god! This is some pretty goddamn fast cavalry. However, they are fighting a heavy Dol Amroth infantry, and that's going to be hard for them to really come out on top here.
Men are running! Stand and fight, damn you!
How are the other fights going? Have they managed to make any ground in the center? I mean, the main engagement I imagine we want to see is right over here. Isengard versus Dale, because, you know, if Isengard can win on this side, which I don't think they're going to be able to. I mean, I think if Isengard win on this side, they're just going to win on every single flank. Like, Dale needs to win here and then send troops to support the other flanks, because if they can't win here, then there is no hope for them, because I think they are losing in the city. They're losing on the other side. So this is very important. We even have some berserkers up here as well. Such a deadly unit, especially once they're like in the mix of these spear infantry as well, with huge shields. And they're also fighting spears as well. The berserkers will just go ham, kill so much of this infantry. Or both sides though, there. The archer volleys of both sides are absolutely crazy. We even have some artillery shots still going off, looking to find their mark, try and take up the supply wagons back there, which is not a bad idea. Rest of the infantry on this side is in full force. Pikeman infantry is just a whole mess right now,
Men are broken and running for their lives!
as both sides has pushed forward. Oh. His head's being sliced off. The archer forces, which has been pushed up, I imagine they ran out of ammunition, are being broken back by the Vineland Guard, but I just don't see the Vineland Guard breaking through these pikemen. That's their biggest issue. I mean, besides the pikemen, it's not like there's a lot of infantry here, but I just don't think they need it, you know? The pikemen as well, taking out the spearmen. I think the Uruk pikemen is going to prove their worth here. With that extra rain, they'll be able just to dominate the center flank. The left-hand side, we do have a pretty intense cavalry engagement right now. The winner of this will, you know, be able to chase down the other person's missiles. And we do have some of the Vineland Paladins here fighting Doamroth, which I imagine are two very, very good cavalry. Obviously, Doamroth known for their horsemanship and their knights. But Doamroth do have infantry here supporting them as well, which will slowly grind away at the cavalry. There are still a couple units of cavalry over here as well. Oh, that's not good for Dale. I think it was this force that died, unless the Dale General almost went down. I mean, is the Dale General over here? I think maybe it was the Medallion General. Medallion General's even losing. Wow, that's brutal. I think we're going to be seeing the Isengard and Doamroth really pushing forward in this battle. The thing is, though, a lot of the Dale archers are really good in combat as well. So it's not like it's going to completely throw them away, but a lot of their infantry are just being broken as we have more infantry being brought up here just to try and clear out the rest of these guys. We've even got some infantry breaking their way forward. Oh, but berserkers onto the archers. That's not going to be good for them. The archers needed to take these guys down. You're going to see these Dale infantrymen getting slaughtered now, and I imagine the balance of power, I mean, number-wise, is still pretty similar to the beginning of the game. If anything, Dale have kind of managed to draw it a little bit in their favour, but I think, you know, a lot of these remaining troops are going to be archers, and the other side have infantry. And there we go, both the generals for Dale have gone down, and this is going to be huge. I think that's going to cause kind of the end of the battle, as we have more infantry groups just pushing forward. As the cavalry still go toe to toe. And in the background we can see the Doamroth infantry and archers just slowly marching their way up, looking to cut off the retreat of anyone stuck up on that mountaintop.
Enemy refuses to admit defeat. Their unit has rallied.
This has truly been an epic battle, worthy of the tales. The 18,000 man battle for the mountain. Oh, that looks really cool as well right there, because you have a mix of infantry. That looks like something from like the from like an old picture or something. If only they were a little bit more up on a hill or something. That looks epic. Like some English Civil War type of stuff with pikes and infantry in between them. Does look like the last remnants of infantry are being pushed in here now, trying to make one famous last stand. Because I mean, if they can take this mountaintop, then maybe they stand a chance. You know, once these guys do move round, it's going to take them a little while to do so. So maybe they can just push in, but it just does not look like it. Yeah, the full Dale force has now been broken. And I imagine the balance of power now has definitely shifted in favour of Doamroth. And they're going to be charging in one last time. This faction is really, really fast. So I guess maybe they use their speed to their advantage rather than the kind of heavier infantry. And they're going to go flying in here. Just try and fight the last kind of groups of Urukai up here. But there's still so many of them just piling in. I mean, look about the crossbows getting ready to go over here. And I imagine these Uruk crossbows do not care if it's friendly fire or what. But they are going to be getting a good charge off on them. And that's going to kill quite a few of them. I imagine these lumberjacks are really good on the charge. But in prolonged combat, who knows? Especially if any reinforcements come up around behind. These crossbows going to volley into their own friendly backs or not? That's what I'm interested in finding out, because the Uruks, don't, at this point the battle has pretty much been won. Surprised these archers aren't charging in either, as the last couple forces are making their way in. Yeah, the entire armies are now just pushing around the flank. So what I guess they could do is they could try and just break through here, but yeah, it's not looking too good. But there's not a ton here. I mean, like, honestly, reinforcements do need to come and help out. But yeah, as we see, just crossbow fire coming in now. Killing friendly units, I don't think the Uruk-hai really do mind too much. There are some elite units here though as well. The Vineland Guard obviously being very, very good. We are managing to rout a unit or two right there. If anything, these crossbows just need to keep on volleying. Who cares if they hit friendly units at this point? Just unload your shots. There's more and more push round here. Still a couple units, but we also have the Diaroth cavalry. I mean, the remnants of this cavalry must be exhausted. There's not many of them left. You see the Knights with the Silver Swan right here as well. They're going to try and get their asses up to this battle as soon as possible. This Uruk-hai force has just had its fill of blood. And it is resting right now. I mean, that was a pretty intense battle. I mean, look at this right now. This was a battlefield and a half, and it was only one of 3 engagements, which is just crazy. So now that unit's routed, these crossbows should be able to shoot nicely. So yeah, these crossbows should be able to finish off this unit of Vineland Guard, but they're just not shooting. Someone's just like, I don't want to see this. I've had enough of war. I don't know why half of them, or maybe we just need another click. A lot of the Diaroth infantry and Isengard forces are actually routing, leaving kind of, I guess, a little last stand right here. But they're also very close to breaking themselves, yeah. They only have this selection right there. This is the last remnant, so there's only a couple hundred of them left. Not even a couple hundred, just 133 brave elite infantry, which I imagine get completely surrounded and overwhelmed. Brought into, maybe not even surrounded, just shot to pieces. It's the easiest way to take out elite guys, because, you know, doesn't matter how skilled they are with a sword, one bolt from a crossbow or one archer can pierce that armor and take that dude away from the battlefield. But I mean, both sides have definitely lost a lot of soldiers this battle, with the Diaroth Isengard alliance going down to 2,000 men from 9,500. And it's just going to be a crossbow fiesta right now. Crossbows shooting out. We're going to try and split their units up as much as they can, but I imagine as well, once this cavalry finally makes their way up here, they're just going to charge into their back, and that's probably going to be it for the battle. Rest of the infantry trying to make their way around as well, and they're basically killing them. Oh, it's a brutal point blank volley. It's going to be almost routing them. Same over on this side as well. You're going to have some archers here as well. And that's going to be the last unit left. Yeah, the last unit is going to be right here. There is no help and no hope for men unless you're Diaroth, and then there is hope for you, because you've made a pact with the devil. And there we have it. The battle is over. GG indeed. That's just such a huge battle, and the performance was really, really good as well, which I'm pretty impressed with. Very, very impressed with how well that ran. If we take a look at the kills, we'll start off with Hobbit's army. We can see that his Vineland infantry obviously doing the best, really. His archers doing quite admirably as well. On Deadman's Dale army, his cavalry really proving their worth. A couple hundred kills. His general over 250 kills. Very, very nice. And obviously his archers really being the MVPs for him. Over on Isengard, we can see the Isengard infantry just proving, you know, they are tough Uruks and ready for battle. The Berserkers as well, 214 kills. That's pretty disgusting. Then finally for Diaroth, I imagine their cavalry and infantry. The cavalry not actually doing anything too crazy. The skirmishers doing good, and then the infantry as well. Even these Black Swan Vanguard not even getting their hands bloodied. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this Rise of Mordor custom map battle. If you did, let me know in the comments down below, and I will see you guys in the next one.